Starting 1st January 2018, HDB launched a new resale portal for both buyers and sellers to help facilitate the resale transactions. The purpose is to reduce the time to complete the transactions and to have a better and more efficient process in place. This will lead to a better use of admin resources and allow both the buyers and sellers continue with their plans faster. However, you need to know one important point. The system does not help you make decisions on whether you should buy or sell your HDB flat. It does not help you determine if this is the right HDB flat to buy. It does not help you negotiate, and it cannot possibly advise you if this is the right price to buy or sell. Only you, if you are going through the DIY way, or your competent agent like myself and my team, can help you do the above. If you are unfamiliar, I'd recommend you engage a professional like us to help you take the load off arranging viewings and getting the best value for your money. I'm just a phone call away. Let's continue with the HDB resale buying process. Hi, my name is Francis of Ming Property, part of PNG team in PropNext. If you are new here, click on the subscribe button or like our Facebook page to receive tips and tricks and stay up to date with latest news in real estate in Singapore. In this video, I'll give you a quick summary on the various segments that's part of the HDB buying process. For a more in-depth discussion on the buying process, I've written a separate blog post to discuss the details, so you can have a better understanding about the process. You can find the link below under the description section. Click on it and it'll take you to the page. It is very important that you know the process because it will save you time and avoid complications that can hinder the completion of your buying process. Many buyers who decided to do on their own often experience more stress because not only that they don't have the overall picture, they need to handle matters using online internet applications and websites. It becomes more difficult if you're not IT savvy. Step number 1 of the process is to register your intent to buy. This is where you input your personal information such as your name and NRIC into HDB's system, and it will verify if you are eligible to buy a HDB resale flat or not. Keep in mind though, that successful registration for the intent to buy does not mean you have the approval to buy yet. Approval is given only after you have identified the property, pay the deposits, and pass all checks by HDB. Successful registration of the intent to buy only means that you have met the minimum criteria and gives you the green light to look for a unit to buy. Option to purchase, or in short, OTP, is a contractual document issued by the seller of a HDB flat to the buyer after a successful negotiation to agree on a price and other terms. This OTP is a confirmation the seller has agreed to sell at the agreed price and now waiting for you, the buyer, to accept the sale officially. Once the buyer has made an offer to buy the HDB flat, he needs to request for valuation. This valuation is the official value of the property. With this value, the buyer can decide whether to accept the price of the property or not. The valuation is important as it will affect your CPF and loan amount. I describe them with more details in my blog post. Do have a read to have a better idea on what's involved. For now, just know that when seller issues the OTP, it is binding on his part to sell the flat at the agreed price until the OTP expires. That is, when the buyer decided not to exercise the OTP. After that, the seller is free to remarket his HDB flat. Once you as a buyer has made a decision to buy the HDB flat, this is where the resale application starts. This is the time both the seller and the buyer will submit the resale application to HDB. With the new process, this submission can only be done online. When HDB receives all the documents, they will process the application. They will request for more information when necessary. After all the documents are submitted, HDB will conduct their own checks and they will either approve or reject the application. They will send an SMS and email to both the buyer and seller on the results. And they will set the estimated completion date if the application is approved. Once the resale application process is done, the next phase is the completion stage. This is where the buyer needs to make all the necessary payments to the seller and in return, receive the keys to their new home. This is also the day the seller receives the full cash proceeds. After this day, you are the new owner to the HDB resale flat. Sometimes your seller's next home can only be available a month or two later after the completion. As such, they may request for extension of stay. HDB allows the extension of stay for up to 3 months, but you and the seller needs to discuss and agree on this extension. HDB will not be involved with this arrangement. They just want the buyer and seller to inform them once both agree to the extension. Once you are owner of the HDB flat, there are a couple of things you need to be aware of. The minimum occupation period, or MOP, condition of proximity grant, and so on. I'll cover all this when I sit down with you to explain the process. Just know that there are a few more items that needs to work out. So, in a nutshell, these are the processes you need to know to complete your purchase of a HDB resale flat. I've summarized them as there are a few more details I didn't cover. And as every case is different, there's a potential that some important details are not discussed here. If you need more help, give me a call. I'll help you search your ideal home, make arrangements to show you the flats, and ensure you have a smooth buying journey. If you're not sure, I'll welcome you to write to me. Timelines and availability of funds at the right time is often most critical. You need to time it right. I hope the above is useful to you. Do let me know if there's any other topics you want to know more about. I'll create more blogs to answer your questions. The next video you should watch is how to choose your HDB resale flat. I'll help you prepare, research, and know what to look out for when buying a HDB resale flat. Do check it out. If you have missed out on my previous videos related to this HDB resale flat series, have a look at the screen now for the past episodes. Check them out for a better, smoother process when you buy your next HDB resale flat. So, until my next video, take care and all the best.